I was spending $10,000 a month on OnlyFans. How do you make $30,000 in 3 months and not know where it went? Ugh. I hate this video already. I guarantee you the first dislike you see on the video, it was mine. Offer me money. If you get that quote, I will pin your comment, reply to your comment, and we'll be friends. What's going on, folks? I'm Alan Sinclair, and a while back, I got to a point where I was making about $1,000 a month off YouTube revenue, which isn't a huge accomplishment, but relative to where you are, it might be a huge accomplishment. Again, like you, I started from zero, and eventually over some time, over like a year or two, I think, I got to the point where I was making about $1,000 monthly. From there, gradually went up, and so on and so forth. Eventually it was 2.5 to 3K. Add in some brand deals of like 4.5 to 5K. But it was a very slow burn type of thing. And just a quick tip for anybody who wants to make YouTube videos and make money off of them, it's gonna be a slow burn. I went from $0 to $20 in a month, $20 to $30 in a month, and then like $30 to $50 in a month, and then $60 to $80 in a month. And eventually I got to like $100 in a month. Eventually I got to 400. It was not like 0 to 1,000. 0 to 100, 0 to 500. It was a slow grind. Sometimes you would make 1,000 in a month and you would make 500 the next month. But eventually I got to the point where I was making 7, 8, sometimes 9K in a month. Oh my God, this video, So at the time I was paying rent for myself and my roommate. So I was paying an entire rent that was supposed to be split down the middle for I think 3 or 4 months, which I wasn't supposed to be doing, but the situation was kind of sticky, so it had to be done. Otherwise, we would have been out on the street. What else is going on? I think I had some credit card debt, school loans, which I never really paid too much attention to. I didn't pay more than minimum on school loans, a car note, and I was giving my mom money. So at the point where I was making like 2 or 3K, even 4 or 5K, a lot of that money was spoken for before it even touched my pockets. There's a certain feeling you have, right? When you make your first $100 on YouTube, and then there's a certain feeling when you make your first 500, and there's a feeling when you make your first 1,000, first 5,000, and then 10,000. It's like, oh my God, it's a crazy, crazy feeling. But I think what happened with me was I kind of became numb to it, not because I was used to making that much money, but because though the number that was hitting my account said 10K, I knew in reality it was really like 2K because I had to spend a lot of it elsewhere. So that kind of took some of the fun out of it for me, which is still, that was my mistake. I should have addressed that at the time. And looking back, I was also in the pattern of getting money, spending money, getting money, spending money. It was like this hedonistic treadmill. Ugh, I hate this video. So in the course of about 3 months, I did $8.5 thousand, $9.5 thousand, and then $9.2 thousand, which is not exactly 30K, it's like 27K, but 27,000 in the title doesn't look as good. At the time I was with a network, so I don't even have access to those analytics anymore. What happens when you join a network is whatever your total number of views, your total number of revenue for the period you join the network until the period you leave the network, those stats, they don't get reported through YouTube, they get reported through the multi-channel network. So you'll have, this will be like year 1 where you're with YouTube, and this will be year 2 where you're with the network. This will be year 3 after you left the network. You'll have a graph here, you'll have a graph here. This will be empty when you look at YouTube. You'll have to go to your network to look at this part. Anyway, it's crazy because when I was making that money, I didn't notice it. I'm not sure if I wasn't looking at my account at the time because I was just used to money coming in and I knew the money was going out. I'm not sure if I was mentally off because of stuff going on in my life. I don't remember. However, I did notice it at the end of the year. Actually, it was like 2 years later when I was sitting down doing taxes with a friend, and I looked at my YouTube channel and I said, yo, I made $30,000 in 3 months. When did that happen? And my friend said, Alan, where did the money go? What did you do with all of it? And I kid you not, this is exactly how I felt before it existed. I think had I gotten it all at one time, I would have handled it differently versus spread out over 3 months. And if my financial IQ was higher than it was at the time, which again was my fault, I would have done better. I promise I would have done better. Things would have been different, man. Because look, I'm a very basic guy. I'm not materialistic. I wear basic clothes, basic shirt. I drive a basic car. I'm in shorts and sandals right now. Sandals. I'm pretty much Kawhi Leonard. I do enjoy toys, I do enjoy stuff, I enjoy equipment, I enjoy buying things from time to time. But if I went out and bought a Tesla tomorrow, I would probably enjoy it for 4 to 5 days, and then I would just be like, it's a car. I could be wrong. I hear Teslas are great, so if you're a Tesla owner, comment below, let me know. Not materialistic, I don't just waste money. I wasn't just out here buying Jordans and buying cars and spending money on girls. That's not what I was doing. which is more frustrating when I did not realize where the money went. Looking back, I think most of it went to like the rent that I was paying, the double rent that I was paying, gave money to my mom without even looking at it sometimes. I spent a lot of money on food, you know, paying bills, bought some camera equipment. I might've bought a computer at the time, but the rest of it, honestly, I'm just not sure where it went. Maybe my MCN stole some money from Alexa. How do you sue somebody?
Here's something I found on WikiHow. To sue a company, start by talking to your insurance company since they might be able to help with the negotiation.
But I'm not that guy anymore. My mental IQ has grown quite a bit since then. I've learned a lot from my mistakes, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes too. You're probably not making the same mistakes that I made at the time, because I think where I was at the time was probably below average for a person of the age that I was at. But please take this as a lesson, because it sucks to look up a year later, 2 years later, and realize you made $30,000 in 3 months and you don't know where it went. It sucks, trust me. And it would suck if it were 10,000. It would suck if it were 5,000. It sucks having to realize you had that money in retrospect versus knowing that you have that money in the moment, or that money is coming to you, and being able to enjoy it, being able to budget it, being able to use it properly, wisely, so that you know where it's going and that you know how you're using it. You would think this is 101 stuff, but I didn't grow up with a financial literacy program in my family. I didn't grow up with that. No excuse, because once I got old enough, I should have made the choice to pursue that on my own, so no excuse. I hate this video. When you start making YouTube videos or money on YouTube, be smarter than I was. All right, man, I'm done with this video. This video is triggering me right now. Actually, no, I got a question. Do you ever wonder, because I always used to wonder this, and I wonder how many of you wonder it. Do you ever wonder how much money you've had throughout the entirety of your life? Like since you were 5 getting allowance, up until your first job, second job, third, all of them. Have you ever wondered how much money you have made in total? I don't want to think about that. That's triggering me too. Okay, you were loved and appreciated. I gotta go. Bye.
I believe I joined the MCN in 2015. And from then until about 2019 or late 2018, there's nothing, because all of that information is still with the network that I was with. So that's a lot of money that I made that doesn't get counted into my total that you see down here. So now I'm not gonna go over all this piece by piece, but you can kind of do it as you please. And if you look at it, I started with 30K, unless we're just gonna assume that I was spending $2,000 a month for rent, and that was 3 months, which is $6,000, puts me at $24,000. Then from $24,000, let's say I was spending $250 a month on credit cards, puts me at $23,250, et cetera, et cetera. So you can read it and go through it, and then you can see kind of where like the money was going. And as you see on this side, I was spending $10,000 a month on OnlyFans. No, that's a joke. OnlyFans didn't even exist back then. No, these numbers aren't concrete, and I'm pretty sure there's stuff I'm leaving out. But for the most part, this is kind of where I was at. Like I had money that was not accounted for. So there was like $18,000 and I'm still not sure where it went. So yeah, don't make my mistakes.